Today's video is sponsored by Hover. Uba Yuba soy skin nuts. This is my new quick and easy chicken replacement. Now this is super easy. It's essentially just one ingredient and then you can flavor them however you like. The one ingredient is soy skin. Now I've used soy skin in loads of recipes. I've used it to make chicken before. I've used it to make like soy skin hams. Cha lua che, which is a vegetarian ham roll. That's a very common recipe that's used with soy skin. I've also used soy skin to put like a mock skin on my chicken wings or over chicken breasts. There's a load of different things to use them for, but today I just wanted to show you the soy skin nuts. Tofu skin, tofu, bean curd skin, the bean curd sheets, there's a ton of different names for them. Now, sometimes you can find the soy skin nuts, you can find them already pre-made. If you can't find them pre-made, there's a load of different ways to make them. I'm gonna show you the easiest way. We'll talk about a few other ways, but let's get moving on my quickest chicken replacement, one ingredient chicken replacement that you are going to lose your minds about. Okay, so our dried bean curd sheets, or yuba, they come in a few different varieties. You can get them in a lot of different shapes and sizes, and frozen or dried or fresh. There's loads of different variations of them, and you all know that I've used them a lot in the past. So the one that we're gonna be using today is just the fresh bean curd sheet. This is a frozen, I've already thawed it, bean curd sheet. That's what we're gonna be using. But if you can only find some of these, like if you can only find the dried bean curd sheet, really all it is just rehydrating this with some water or some broth, flavor broth. You might even be able to impart some more flavor into it. Or if you only find these right here, the dried bean curd sticks, these will probably work the best because you really just have to rehydrate them. It's even less of a step. I wanna show you with the fresh sheet what that looks like, how you process it, make it happen. So for our fresh sheet, all we're gonna do is we're just gonna cut these into strips. I'm thinking probably about an inch or so wide and about as long as this sheet here. Now this is folded into what looks like about a sheet of paper, so I'm assuming it's probably about 11 inches long by 8.5, about 8 or so inches wide. So that'll probably work fairly perfectly. And there is lots of layers already in the sheet here. So we're gonna get a lot of layers. This is gonna really come out pretty nice. So we're gonna take these here. We got all of these layers. Now this is gonna be a fairly thick one and I think that's okay. And all I'm gonna do is I'm going to twist them just like so. Give it a good twist. That's going to really kind of like help roll up those flavors and textures. And then I'm going to tie it in a knot. And that is our bean curd knot. It's as simple as that. Hey gang, let me tell you a little bit about today's sponsor. Hover is an incredibly easy to use service that allows you to create a custom domain name or email address. I know for me, I want my personal brand to stand out and look professional. When everybody's email addresses are ending with the same things, like at Gmail, at Hotmail, you can easily get lost in the crowd, and that's where custom domain names come in handy for email addresses. Hover has over 400 domain name extensions to choose from, including all of the classics and fun niche extensions. You don't have to be basic with .com or .net. You can go crazy. Get something like .recipe, .tube. I actually bought SauceStache.tips, so you can email me at mark@SauceStache.tips anytime you find something new and interesting you want to share with me. Hover allows you to connect your domain name to many website builders with a few simple clicks, so easily integrate your new domain name to your pre-existing website. And you're gonna love Hover's best-in-class customer support. So thanks to Hover for sponsoring today's video. Make sure you head over to hover.com/SauceStache so that way you get 10% off your first purchase. You can start personalizing your online presence today. Thanks, Hover. And now what you can do, and what I like to do, is we're just gonna do a little brush of some oil with just a little sprinkle of some chicken bouillon, and that's vegan chicken bouillon, flavoring to this to give it even more chicken flavor. So just in the bowl here, I'm just gonna add maybe 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and about a teaspoon of our chicken broth mixture. And again, this is just chicken flavor. Before I get all of the comments, listen to me. This is plant-based. I swear to you, there's no chicken in it, but it really tastes like chicken. It's pretty good. Now I'm just gonna use a brush to kind of mix in this oil and chicken seasoning just a bit. And then all I'm gonna do is just brush over on the inside of some of these layers, which will make it a little bit harder to tie, but I like the flavor and the addition, what it does. And you can see this one's a little bit more oily. That's okay. We're just going to give it a twist and give it a knot. So now at this point, we just want to repeat this process Okay, so now that we have our knots, there's a few different ways of preparing these. I'm gonna do it 2 ways, but there's just really, it's unlimited. You could steam them exactly how they are just to get a nice chewy texture for maybe like a sandwich or something. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to marinate half of these and then we're gonna bake them. The other half, I'm just gonna pan fry really quick and I'm gonna show you how simple that is. I'm just gonna take the rest of my broth and oil mixture that I have here. There's probably about 2 teaspoons left if you wanted to just start from scratch. And I'm gonna make our baked version kind of hot. I'm gonna use a chili garlic sauce, probably to use maybe about, I'd say about a tablespoon or more, maybe about 2 tablespoons actually, and probably about a tablespoon of rice wine vinegar, and then around a teaspoon of agave. Then all we're gonna do is just toss in our knots into the mixture. Don't get them everywhere like I just did. And like I said, the possibilities here are endless. There is a lot of different variations on the flavorings and broths that you could use and seasonings, and really, this is not what you have to do. You could do just about anything. Now I'm just gonna toss a little bit of oil on our baking sheet. Now I have a non-stick baking sheet. You can always use a piece of parchment paper. That might make life a little easier. And then just place these guys right in the middle. Now we only got this whole recipe, I think I have 14 of these per package. You can, depending on the size, I did a little mix of large and small. These look pretty good, pretty happy with it. I'm just gonna give them just a nice top of that chili garlic oil on each one. Then we're just gonna toss these in the oven for about 350 degrees for about the next 20 minutes. Just wanna kind of pay attention to them. They should soften up on the inside and kind of get a little crispy on the outside. Should give you a really nice texture. And for our pan-fried versions, I'm just gonna be doing kind of like a sweet General So-ish kind of thing. This is gonna be really good. We're just gonna do just a touch of sesame oil, probably a half a teaspoon, not much. Probably 2 or 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, just depends on how you like it. I'm also using a low sodium soy sauce. An equal amount of rice wine vinegar, so 2 to 3 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar, and we're gonna give it a solid shot of agave, probably a tablespoon. It's gonna be pretty sweet. Just gonna whisk this mixture up. Give it a taste, I love the taste of that. We're gonna toss these guys in, take on some of that flavor. It's gonna be good. Now we're gonna let these sit in here for about 15 minutes. While they sit, we're gonna heat up a pan with just a touch of oil on it. You could use any oil you like. I'm just gonna use some olive oil. Once that pan's heated up, we're just gonna toss the whole mixture into the pan, saute those up for about 10 minutes or so. They should crisp up pretty nice. After the 10-15 minutes, we're just gonna add up a shot, maybe a tablespoon of water, cover it, let it simmer on a low for another 10 minutes, and then these should be perfect. And then here is our little General So Yuba knots. These are little perfect quick chicken replacements. I am so stoked. And then our baked versions, I just cannot wait. I mean, look at that. Ooh. Look at the spiciness and it is the perfect chicken nugget texture. I know for a fact that Monica's gonna love the chili garlic versions.
Really good.
Really good, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're awesome. Mm-hmm. What do you think about the texture?
It's a little tough, but it definitely has a chicken texture.
Mm-hmm. I think on a sandwich, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm. It's really good.